evening and welcome to the Darkmom Consortium for January the 25th, 2022 as we begin the 12th anniversary, 12 freaking years of this game. Woot, 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 woot.
I noticed something. They changed the decorations and they changed Hughes dancers.
Yeah, I did notice that. He's got two Nausicaans?
I think they're for Carrie.
Oh, okay, for Carrie, yeah. Let's see who's up here.
I think.
Oh, I can't go up there with this tune.
Yeah, you have to go back to ESD with that tune.
Yeah, this poor tune. So there's still an issue. Apparently it was an issue last year, but if you are a KDF allied, like Romulan or Jemmy, you cannot do the Omega mission at the moment. You can't go to Repente.
Ooh.
So, and if you drop in and pick it up, it's still loading that one back up. So it looks like there's one for KDF aligned. Though I was able to do it with my Torrestin, just wasn't able to do it with my Rami. So go figure. I guess if you get the choice of picking, you can't run the daily. You can do all the other stuff, but not the daily.
I really should do a TFO on the alt today so I can get him caught up. Because that's the only mission that's worth one frickin' point.
Yeah, but you can do it twice. You do it on one tune and do it on a different tune.
Hold out. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Two different tunes, yeah.
Yeah. I probably still would rather do Operation Wolf.
I haven't done anything. Hey, how are you?
Pretty decent.
Good.
So just logged in for the anniversary stuff?
Yep. I'm doing the happy dance. Yeah, 12 years. Oh, this isn't the 12th anniversary today, though, is it? That's February something.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, did everybody notice that there's an elite captain upgrade token that was in the promotions along with the ship token? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep,
got it. The ship token's a bonus. The captain was what was scheduled.
Right. Well, hey, I'm not objecting to getting more stuff.
There's also a free sword and T6X token.
Where are they?
You have to load through. You claim it through the Epic Store if your account's linked in Epic.
Yeah, if your account's not linked, you can't claim it. So
no, my account's just through Arc. Not through Epic.
I was able to link mine about a year ago.
Yeah,
I stopped doing it.
I just don't do things that make my life harder to do. I go for the easier ways, not the harder ways. I suppose I should flip that on. There we go. Yay! I like it. If I flip on the Twitch, it says now watching with 5 viewers, but if I go to look at the viewers, there's only 3.
Leave it to the glitches.
Yep. Thank goodness for mistakes. You know, where would we be without there being at least a few glitches in the very first day of something? It wouldn't be home.
Precisely. So, who else played the mission?
I have not. I haven't played the mission. I haven't played the TFO. I am ready to give it a shot, though. If we can put together a team, I am happy to team it.
The mission is better with teams, considering the fact that you're not playing your normal self.
No secrets. Oh, are we playing our alternate selves?
She didn't want. Yeah, you're playing your alt.
Okay, that I'm okay with. Hang on a second. Work messages. Blah, 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 blah.
Your alt has sucky gear, but...
Oh, well. Alrighty.
But, however, you do get bonuses depending on what class you're playing, such as orbital strike, drones, or
sweet.
Stuff like that.
It's not orbital strike, it's orbital devastation. It's a chasing beam.
Ooh, okay, I'll take it.
Okay, details.
A detail which makes... difference which makes no difference is no difference. If I may quote James Splish...
Evening.
Hello. How are you doing, Boom? I haven't talked to you for a while.
Yeah, I've been doing other stuff. I kind of lost a little bit of motivation for the game.
Yeah, no, that's totally reasonable. Real human beings, not machines like me, actually have normal ebbs and flows with things they enjoy, so I totally get that.
Yeah. I mean, eventually... There's too much stuff happening to pick up. I But I'm kind of, as Mom's noticed, I've kind of been a little more autopilot-y in my gaming.
Yeah. So,
I've been the same way for the longest time. I basically was not even touching games for a while. I just log in on STO just to say hi to a few people and log right out.
yeah, it's interesting you say that. I was chatting with somebody who hasn't logged into the game in forever, but new episode anniversary and everything else, so he just logged in and basically is going to run through it once, say hi to all his friends, chit-chat for a while, and back in a couple of months.
Yep. Well, I am
tell
going to
you-
get that carrier. I've made that decision. I will get that carrier. Oh, yes, it will be mine.
I'm assuming you've seen what's beneath us right now.
Please tell me you're not going to do what the priority one guy is going to do.
don't
What's
know.
that?
What?
Let's just say this much. If he could get away with it, he'd find some way to bring the ship to life and marry it.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's just I'm this filthy elitist completist as far as trying to get all the event ships.
Okay, it did set my alarm on the 20-hour cooldown for the event. But
Okay.
I like it when they put a mission in it, because you can do the mission and just don't turn it in. 20 hours rolls, all I have to do is flip on the game, turn it in, I get the stuff, can turn it off, and makes life easy, especially when it's the one at like 3 in the morning. And that's the tough one, the one in the middle of the night. I still have to get up in my cold apartment, run over, turn on the computer, click, click, done, back to bed. Well, who would like to join me on a romp through this one? I can go Federation or KDF.
You can go either way.
Doing the mission, yeah?
Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
do the
let's do
mission
that,
and I want to
please.
do the new TFO.
TFO is fun, easy, and also easy.
TFO reminds me a lot of the old mirror invasions.
That's what you were saying. Apparently, yes, Marhawkman, we can team play the new mission, I think. Has anybody tried team playing it yet?
No, I ran it solo.
Celestial Voyager just did it with a whole full team and
Okay.
can do it. It's just going to be a little confusing at some point.
You heard that, Marhawkman? Other people are doing it. I know people have already AFK'd the TFO. So I guess it's doable.
Yeah.
But apparently it's AFKable only in normal, not in advanced. Or is there an advanced one on the TFO?
I doubt it. Event.
Yeah, usually. Okay, yeah, that would make sense then.
Doggles want my steak.
Yeah, of course. Duh. All right, if people want to give me an X, I will go ahead and team up some folks.
Fed or KDF.
Let's go Fed.
Sign me in.
Who are you on?
Jessa.
Jessa,
Give me a
Jessa,
second. Put it in right now.
Oh, okay. There's Jessa.
On Captain Rogers.
Okay, got room for one more.
It's just me who's noticed the fleet chat right now.
Yeah, I've been
No,
noticing
yeah,
that
it's,
one. Yeah, just it's one reason I put the camera image right over that, because it can get a little out of hand sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always so polite and politically correct. Don't be silly.
That's why I've got it covered up. All right, we got our 5. We got Jessa, we got Mark, we got DT, and we got Marhawkman. So Papa wants attention?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, now she's laying behind me. Just. I swear
Sob
this
says
stuff.
hi to the doggo. Alrighty, here we go. And
Don't share the mission with us, or are we
duh.
gonna?
Am I coming through? Okay, now I can.
hi, yeah, you're coming through. Sorry, I didn't share the mission.
I'm gonna pick it up anyway, but
Sounds like a likely story.
Yeah, I know. I try and keep all the glory for myself, but you know me.
Well, I mean, at least you're being honest.
Yeah. There's no point
We
in.
lost power here for like 2 hours.
Oh no, storms.
So I'm hoping that.
See,
Because the Florida isn't really designed to absorb cold, it like really messes with northern stuff, and so the southern stuff is affected as well. Excuse me.
I feel like being.
I am transwarping there.
I'm hitting begin redshift.
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 What is this we're talking about?
New episode.
Oh, I was gonna do that as soon as this thing finishes uploading.
Well, once that's done, we can run it again because I need to do it on my other
Okay.
account.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good.
Alrighty. So starting Redshift, which I have not played yet.
Spoilers! Spoilers!
Well, it is now. If you haven't played it, folks, and you're watching this, put your hands over your eyes and go blah, 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 blah for the next few minutes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
And then we'll do the new
Okay,
TFO
this
too.
is gonna be weird. The game showed up on the smallest monitor I have. So I'm seeing this minuscule little thing.
Okay, what am I doing and why do we have new things here?
New icons because we have to go. We're doing rescue missions.
Oh, okay.
Terran's attacked here.
Whose
Ooh.
site?
That's Mark. Mark, launch.
No? Oh, oh,
Go over and start Redshift.
Always up to Mark.
Oh, this looks vaguely like,
Oh, what the hell?
This
what was the last
particular
one?
space map feels like it has really, really wonky inertia. Like the inertia on this map is just different than most of them somehow.
The last of us are ready for transport. Hurry! The core's about to breach.
Because I tried to stop, and it somehow like went like 5 kilometers past.
Yeah,
the point
no,
where
I just did the same thing, but I assumed it was my bad driving.
I have no trouble driving it. Might be your bad driving.
It did the same to me.
Bad driver. That's it. Your license is taken away.
Did anyone else notice which moon Jupiter station is orbiting?
No.
That's Io.
Oh, sweet.
They actually modeled the surface of Io.
Nice.
Very nice. That did not occur to me.
Welcome aboard.
Met Admiral Janeway. I haven't met her yet. How did I get the...
It's as soon as you get into the new
Retroactive.
series. Or,
Yeah, she's probably in Delta Quadrant. I would bet.
Actually, if you had the Delta Quadrant story arc missions in progress, they all got dropped and restarted today.
oh, good, because
Upgrade and salvage are now the same button.
I heard that there are new voice lines by Kate.
yes,
Mulgrew
I had
for-
heard that too.
And that's apparently why they updated all the old missions to add.
Yeah.
those.
That makes sense.
They did the same thing when they got LeVar Burton.
Why
They
is
did the
Q
same
here?
thing. They did the same thing with it because it's the anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a picture of Jupiter on the screen over here because Janeway's ship is currently orbiting Jupiter.
Voyager.
It's
Oh,
another
right.
tier
All right,
6 coupon.
that's right. You actually do see Tuvok on the bridge. Ah.
Is there a
This
new
is gonna
ship?
be fun.
it looks quite evil. Think she's gonna
There's
be
no
telling
new
him.
ships.
There will be a new ship. Oh, there is a new ship. Let's see.
In the
Okay.
lockboxes.
Yeah, and as the mission reward. Ooh, evil Terran Janeway.
Evil Terran Borg Janeway.
Is there a not
Evil
evil
Terran Borg Queen
Is it-
Janeway.
Wow,
Borg Queen, huh?
You gave a spoiler. You're not supposed to give spoilers.
I like her arm muscles.
Ruined the whole thing for me.
I mean, she kind of telegraphs that part, though, to be honest.
Yeah, with the Borg implants, but not the Queen part. But I love that she's got some muscles to her. Oh, is this where we left the last one?
Let's get started.
Not exactly, but close.
Ooh, Tilly with arm muscles too.
Killy, not Tilly. It's Killy.
Tilly,
Jupiter
excuse
or-
me.
Jupiter or Radis?
Yes, the
I've
Wrath
never
of
heard of
Jupiter.
Wow.
But there's something else. There's something else when you play through the dialogue. There is something else you're going to notice here.
By the time we drop out of warp in the Sol
That DT is in fact a robot in disguise.
No, the captain speaks. Your captain speaks in this episode.
What? What? I speak!
If you look at closely at your character model that you're currently wearing, you have a voice box implant.
I do. I do.
Because Tilly tried to kill you by stabbing.
You're giving a spoiler again to her.
No spoilers. I haven't seen it yet. This is my
Okay,
first
sorry.
time through.
Ruins
Wow.
everything.
We've said this twice now. 3 times.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to mute you next time.
They may show their relevance without firing a shot. If not,
Your shadow long enough.
Oh, I'm a happy person. I get to talk.
Yeah.
I get to talk a
we finally
lot.
get to we get to speak.
Oh, that's great planning on their
And
part.
there's a male voice and a female voice.
Oh, nice.
But not a Ferengi voice.
well fought. 3 cheers.
Well, technically your throat's ripped out and it's replaced with another cybernetic part, so you still get that.
Oh.
It looks like your toolbar you get is actually different based on what your base character class is.
Yes, it is.
Okay, somebody had mentioned that.
I'm going to play the new TFO.
Okay.
It's good.
See what it's like.
It's not hard.
As an engineer, you get ambush turrets and orbital chasing beam. I'm currently on a science officer, and I get chains of agony and agonizer brain scramble.
Brain scramble is very nice.
I get a bunch of
I
exocomms.
like chains of agony.
I give a bunch of exocomms. Yeah, give me an extra firepower.
And I think like that dark matter thing.
Dark matter thing?
Dark matter grenade.
Ah.
Oh,
We
yeah,
disintegrate
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
That's an interesting station.
Jupiter Station.
Yeah, it's Jupiter Station.
Define.
That's actually what
Yeah,
Jupiter
fine.
Station looks like.
I know, it's just, I meant it's an interesting configuration.
Oh yeah. And
Got
and
no-
look behind us at the model of planet or the moon Io.
Oh, crud. That's great.
It's textured. It's not modeled.
Oh, that's very
Well,
nice.
It's an impressive recreation.
Yeah. Nicely done. And good music, too.
Evidently, it's still bugged.
Oh?
The power drones that I have on my ship, they start it early.
Well, tell
Well,
them not
are you
to.
are you launching them and having them in attack?
No, they're on defensive.
Don't give them any commands when you go in. Give them commands after the thing officially starts.
Is this Evil Kumarki here?
Yep.
Yep.
Evil Kumarki, who is,
Won't be a problem for all.
and it is kind of mentioned.
Fire on the defense satellite.
So they just the bad guys showed up, and they were already dead before they finished talking.
You killed a lot of good people out there. And for what? What the hell do you want?
It's just terrible what they have to go through.
Enough, Commander. Surrender and prepare to be boarded.
He's stalling, buying time for reinforcements to arrive. The Empire doesn't negotiate. with
More
the
ships
West.
through the rift.
Indeed.
Let's teach these Starfleet weaklings a lesson.
People are shooting at me.
Let's just kill them all.
You're not allowed to do that. What the heck?
I'm Terran. I'm allowed to do that.
Well, not you. I'm more than talking about you. So they're not allowed to shoot at me.
I think that earlier one of the ships actually did use a targeting scramble thing because I noticed that was targeting allies somehow.
Yeah.
Terran
Yeah,
hacker ships.
They do scramble sensors.
That's funny.
You called it. He needs
A phaser defense
Very
platform.
well. We'll
Somehow I'm not all that
the
concerned.
price for defying the Terran Empire, and I am here to collect. Tactics, concentrate fire on their attacker
Why do we have to clear out Jupiter Station? They're not even getting out of the freaking rift that they're coming out of.
Risk the loss of the Emperor's prize. All right.
And we see the Odyssey version of a dreadnought.
Mm-hmm.
I want that ship.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is that the new one?
Yep.
The
Prepare yourself. Let's get
It's an
moving,
Odyssey with a
Inquisitor.
Titan mission pod on top of it.
As you.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
woof, woof, woof.
Oh,
Ooh.
feels like something, DT.
Fire support exocomps. Love it.
Yeah.
A data thief. Oh no.
Oh, cool. I'm getting accolades for killing Federation people in this mission. That is nice. I
We
hadn't
are killing.
realized
That's
the
because
first
we
one.
are killing Federation people.
Yeah, I know. It's just that usually you don't see that for Fed allied characters.
I should probably stick to one side of the map or the other. I was supposed to be closing rifts?
Yep.
I've just been killing everything that come out of them.
Yeah.
Hey, look up, because we actually like walk up.
Wow.
Up to higher floors,
Oh man, this is beautiful.
and then get to look down at where we are now.
Oh man, I like this.
Styles on the station.
Creativity, folks. I like it.
We come in peace, shoot to kill.
We don't come in peace. We're Terrans. Surrender or die.
No, we're Terrans. Everything dies.
Surrender now or no power coming.
Security fields took them long enough.
Ow.
A command battleship is so cute, stuck in his little pen.
Okay,
This guy mad at you, but I don't have the strength to get out of your gravity well.
This is interesting. We're on this side. Just hang on there a sec. They gotta drop the.
Fields down. We dropped it.
Kumar K and I are in position. Waiting on you, Marshall. Tick-tock.
They're not?
We're almost there. Stand
Keep telling me they're not going to close themselves, but they're closing pretty quickly.
Because somebody's closing them.
I like how the hacker ships are getting launched from the battleships, and then they just sit there.
They're trying to take over the freaking things. It's like
Close the rift.
Get those bombs planted, Inquisitor. On it. Cover me while I work.
Clock ticking. Still haven't heard the explosion.
Shut up.
Having trouble?
Not as many as you.
Oh.
Don't stop.
Whoa! Something just hit me for 18. Oh right, the bombs in the rooms exploded.
Oh, and we're not immune?
Good.
nope.
Wow. That's
All right, it's down.
different.
Yeah, it'll kill any of the NPCs in there. I just forgot that it was that part of the mission.
There's the Jeffries too. Let's get
And with 5 of us, we can set bombs a lot faster.
Yeah, there's literally one of us for each bomb, I think.
They canceled Red Alert, but there's still Terrans on board.
That's a mystery you'll never solve, I'm afraid. This is the transport.
I just noticed that our costumes have different colors of sashes depending on our branch.
Yep.
Wait, that would be Janeway's tactical? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
in
she
this
is Mirror
universe,
Janeway.
Medical ward.
It is Warlord Janeway, after all.
What's the holdup?
Starfleet energizing. Something's wrong here. Get to the hub as fast as you can.
Perfect. I love running.
Her ships made her invincible, but she's just so easy to hurt. Plot armor doesn't mean you can't suffer damage at all. It just means that we can't kill you.
I saw someone who was streaming this today, who decided to stream it on Elite.
I did it on Elite earlier today.
I know several people who did it on Elite, but I am not about to try that first time. Hi, Fishy. How are you?
Let's just say that he had fun with that.
It's doable on Elite. You just got to be a little more careful what you do.
That's cheating. Yeah. Able to warp the other side of this freaking thing.
Maybe she's hoping we'll kill each other, so she won't come to.
I am fine, Fishy. How are you doing tonight? How can I not be fine? It's the first night of the anniversary.
Welcome my Exo Comp Army.
I think I'm actually wondering. I was like, oh, hold on a sec. Fire support.
What is a shield ship?
Huh.
Let's get this party started, nerds. I like.
It's a good line.
God, I love Killy.
I want to stay on this computer console here, just because it's a mission objective.
That's just stupid.
Dang.
Enterprise keeps warping all over the place and just losing every time they show up.
What are we missing?
Kelly's got to go to work.
Kelly to push buttons.
Okay.
Yeah, but then we got push buttons on 2 consoles.
And kill people.
I'm good with killing people.
I'm good with killing people.
I'm pretty sure that the Federation's going to have a little problem with population here.
Well, I mean, we're basically fighting the entire crew of Jupiter Station. It's a big space station.
And we're not going to give you a spoiler.
Good. Be more fun if I had my personal toys with me, but hey, can't have everything.
No.
Oh yeah, if we had our base characters here, it'd be hell on Earth. There would be no. There would
They'd
be no
be walking in the
survivors.
door and just going.
15, 94%, 3. Ooh, 84 marks.
They'd be dying before they even finish opening the door.
Yeah.
I won with full marks. Yay!
Yeah, I'm pushing the button.
Push the button already.
Push the button, Frank.
The
Push
button,
the
Frank?
big red button.
Oh, yeah, but
Skippy, you fool! Push the button!
Not the one marked self-destruct.
One thing I didn't notice when I played this personally earlier today, but saw the guy live streaming do, is that notice how I'm holding a dagger in my hand?
Ooh.
If you hit 3, you do attack with a dagger.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Instead of a butt stroke melee, you have a stabbing melee.
A slashy, stabby.
I like
It's
slicey.
Roberto! It's Roberto!
It's not a butt strike, it's a palm heel strike. They don't do proper butt strikes.
But they replaced that with using the traditional Terran dagger as your melee weapon.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like that we don't have to switch from melee to weapon.
Yeah.
How would that do for your 250,000 ambush kills, or not ambush kills, but melee kills? Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
But of course we don't have it on this tune, so...
Anything new lobby-wise?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, they do actually. Emerald chain security gear.
Hey, Frost?
It's a costume.
Duress pistol. And those are the 2 that are new there.
Frost, don't forget to pick up the ship coupon and the Captain Elite upgrade coupon.
I already got them.
Okay. Just
the new
making
Federation uniform,
sure.
2380.
There we go.
Not a new combat pet. That's it. Those are the new ones.
This is a new kind of cutscene that we haven't seen before. I like it.
I like this.
Improvised boarding party. Is that?
Oh, that was nice. I love this map. This is beautiful. Oh. Wow.
I disintegrated their commander.
The prize is ours for the taking, Marshal. Indeed.
3, 2, 1.
This raises a lot of questions.
What?
A lot of questions.
Wow. Wow.
I've only got one thing to say. I was right.
Except you weren't right in ways. You thought you had that technology. You have a voice box.
Oh no, I mean, when the first mission dropped, I remember I was.
Everybody saw V'ger because of your character.
It's our time for glory now.
Well, remember how that planet disintegrates in the cutscene? That was similar to the way V'ger would disintegrate.
Not really.
What?
And also, you heard the V'ger theme.
Yeah.
That's a good point, yeah.
But everybody thought because of the voice box, what we found out is our voice box, that we.
You're not as loyal as you make me to believe.
We are V'ger.
Afraid not,
Do these adapt?
No, they don't.
It's cold down here. Someone
How
said
cold is it?
Well, last night it got down to 36.
I'm not impressed.
When your community is not built for 36-degree weather, it sucks.
Yeah.
All right, Marshal Janeway.
So some more drones.
Wow, she died fast.
Well, there's a lot of us, and it's not up.
Janeway is just as much a blowhard in the game as she is in the series.
On Elite, this is apparently really, really long. But that's Elite.
Yeah, on lead, everything's long.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a challenge to it. That's why it's elite.
Mm-hmm. Is history.
Oh my gosh.
That's how we resolve this.
I don't want to be political. Something just happened that is just ridiculous.
I think that could be arranged.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene is calling for the impeachment of Joe Biden for his hot mic incident this afternoon.
Oh, okay. Hadn't heard about that.
By now, Tilly and
One thing I would like to say though is that paying attention to what they say about Ilea here is very interesting.
I'm stuck. I can't move.
You are stuck there. Did you get unstuck?
No, there's an option to move yourself, isn't there? Or command?
Yeah, it's / stuck.
I can just do my transfer.
Or you can beam up to your ship.
Yeah.
Hi, Mustafar. Wow, I like this.
That is a pretty evil ship.
It is.
I want that ship.
I want it. I want that ship.
We will learn the secrets of the Emperor
Not if I get it first.
by any means necessary.
Kumarke to bridge. We're ready to begin.
Oh sure.
Oh God.
But Kumarki. But since the dialogue behind missed it, Kumarki's basically Killy's pet.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Another fun little story.
Yeah, sure, Kumarki. Go right ahead. Torture the direct link to a machine god and watch what happens.
Yes, start dissecting the Emperor's prize. Let's see how well that's going to go.
Here's the part about this that I was alluding to earlier, that caught my attention when I was reading the dialogue. And here it talks about Ilea as if Ilea is a cyborg, and basically just a kind of like Borg, but not Borg, in that she's
she's a hybrid. She's a hybrid being, effectively, is what they said.
Mm-hmm. It's like a humanoid enhanced with some sort of extremely advanced cybernetics.
Not exactly, but she was built out of machines to be an exact copy.
Mm-hmm. But it feels like that the explanation of what Ilea is different in Stowe than it is in the movie, and I'm kind of wondering exactly where they're.
But then again, if we go by what the movie said, then V'ger came from the other side of the universe.
I mean, that would explain why no one's ever seen anything in Stowe that has that kind of technology.
Except that the Unimatrix vessels that we see in Stowe are based off the V'ger probe.
Yeah. They have this.
A lot of that came from basically the old executive producer, all but in his own headcanon having the whole V'ger is Borg thing going.
That actually came from novel series that
Shatner novel.
Shatner. Was that V'ger was actually just a different form of the Borg, where instead of assimilating individuals, they just assimilated information. I actually read one of the novels and I thought it was dumb, but
Oh, I agree with you. The Shatner novels were kind of dumb.
Well, he's not the best writer out there.
They had a lot of interesting plot ideas in them. It's just that certain of the plot ideas, I was like, really? Why? Why did you jump off the deep end?
Because Shatner had regrets about having Kirk die.
Well, yeah.
And
there was a complicated thing where Romulans used stolen Borg technology to revive.
Resurrect them. Yeah.
I listened to all those when I used to drive a lot, so I would just play them over and over and got to know all of them way too well. Well, that was an excellent episode.
Mm-hmm.
And your captain, you finally get to hear your captain's voice.
Yay!
Not really.
Well, kinda.
I'll take it. I will definitely take that. I get to have a voice in the game.
I mean, realistically, they could do an approach that some games have done, where they have you choose between one of 6 different voice styles, and it just plays whichever one you chose. But even then, that's a lot.
They chose not to do that because it was immersion. They want you to think of it as your voice that you're speaking with.
Well, see, because some of those games, I mean, yes, it's all pre-recorded stuff, but you choose which of the pre-recorded styles it uses.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the other point: is there any voice actor in this game who was in there 12 years ago?
Yeah, I know. But it's one of those things where it's complicated because of the fact that it's,
complicated?
It's heavily focused on detailed customization.
Yeah.
And this game has some of the most detailed customization you can find.
For free.
For free, yeah. But I'm going to jump back to Io. Gosh, that was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So nicely done. Hi, Drunken Heretic.
I would really, really love it if we had the opportunity to actually run around in a full social zone version of Jupiter Station.
Oh, yes.
Oh God, yes, that would be awesome.
I still miss the Utopia Planitia map.
It was a great map, to be sure.
since we're at the anniversary point, we can't visit Utopia Planitia anymore. That came out every anniversary for a while.
Yes.
Only one or two of them, if I remember right. Then it got ported to Foundry, where it was a little broken. And when the Foundry closed, it left with it.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of new stuff, would anyone like to try the new TFO? Or if you've already done it, would anybody like to do the new TFO?
You know, I'll
Let me
swap-
change ships right quick.
Sure.
Yes, because I have a Tetrian Space Endeavor, so I'm going to switch to a ship that does Tetrian damage.
No worries. I think I did all my endeavors this morning with
I
Ed.
gotta murder Voss on the ground, materials on the ground, and then I gotta kill Tholian ships.
I got destroy Undine ships and Voth ships, both of them in the Dyson battle zone.
Yeah. I'll be right back, though. I gotta throw some more stuff in the laundry.
Okie doke.
And there's one little piece of meat left to feed doggy.
Don't spoil her.
Yeah.
It's a little bit meat, a lot of fat.
Yeah. The thing about Ilea in the mission is that it suggests that it's the same person who met Decker way back when. And
Which meant something split them apart. Space divorce!
But yeah, it seems to mean that Ilea left wherever V'ger went and came back to the Federation, but has been unconscious ever since then, and no one actually knows why.
Yes, but if Ilea is the machine replication of the physical body, they could have created more than one of her very easily.
That is a very good point.
The other thing that we're not going to see.
Yeah.
We're going to have a different voice actor for Ilea.
Yeah, that is
one would
very
think.
true.
Yeah, that would be challenging.
That would be very challenging otherwise.
Yeah. I was watching.
That's actually one thing that's very interesting, though, is because the fact that in the movie, most of Ilea's voice lines were run through some sort of distortion software.
Yeah.
But
there
was post-production, but I don't think there was voice software that way back in '79.
It wouldn't have taken anything super elaborate.
So there's like 5 minutes of audio in the original movie of the actress's actual voice.
I was watching Mystery Science Theater 3000, and I can't remember which one it was. It was with the guy from The Paper Chase, and she was in it. Drunken, if you're out there, you probably know that one. The guy from The Paper Chase. Which episode is that? Warrior of the Lost World. It's the only other movie I've seen her in.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because of the fact that it's not that she had a particularly small number of roles she played, which, okay, I don't actually know the exact number, but her thing is that she's not even from the U.S.
No, she's not.
The earliest accolade she got in this was winning some beauty pageant.
Right, exactly.
In India.
Right. Let's see here. At age 16, as Femina, Miss India, she entered the Miss Universe pageant in 1965, dressed in off-the-rack clothes she bought at the last minute. Let's see. So born in 1948. Okay, so she got roles in the movies Nighthawk, Megaforce. Oh my God, Megaforce is such a bad movie. Warrior of the Lost World. Let's see, whatever she was. Not a ton. of info on her.
Because well, one of the things that I heard a while back, and I'm not 100% sure the accuracy of, is that part of the reason why there's so few films people are familiar with her is that she was more of a Bollywood actress than Hollywood.
I'm looking at it. I only see 3 that are absolutely Bollywood. The first one I see her in is Kama Sutra in 1969, which I've actually seen. Good movie. And then it becomes mostly American stuff. Will Be Conspiracy, Conduct Unbecoming, Man with the Power. These are some of these are Indian shows, but then about right after Star Trek, she goes into American stuff. So Hunter, MacGyver, Shingora, a couple of videos. The new My Camera. Oh my God, don't remember her in that one. And the last one listed here is Lois and Clark in the pilot. And then nothing after that.
Yeah, see, that's actually one of the other things, is that the way she looks in the motion picture is just so drastically different from the way she does stuff in most of this stuff that you might not recognize her.
Yeah, she's absolutely stunning with hair on, but she's so distinctive without it. All right. Well, I've got the same people here teamed, except for slightly different Mar Hawkman. Do you guys all want to go on the TFO?
Yep.
I'm going to jump out for
Let's
a
do it.
few. I got to take trash out, so if you
Alrighty.
got somebody else who wants to jump in,
I'm sure somebody will be willing to do it, even if we just plug
I'm
it.
sure.
I'll kick you so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Does anybody want to jump in and join us, or shall we just pug it and see what we got?
I'm available.
Great. Who are you on?
I can do either one.
Kasiki.
We'll invite Kasiki then.
Be back in a few.
Okie dokie, we'll be here.
Wait for the doggo, and then I gotta go take the trash down. So.
Everybody else good to stay in?
Sure.
I'm
Okay.
good.
All right, if not, we can switch out. Alrighty. Drunken, I'll invite you to the next round if that... Hold on, maybe not.
I'm broke it again.
Oh, no, we didn't break it. I still had Mar Hawkman here as 2 different people. Okay, just want to make sure we've got that all straight.
I guess in the future I'll remember to leave team, then relog.
You would think it would happen by itself, but no. All right, here we go. Wee-woo?
Never actually played this TFO before.
Oh, neither have I, since it's been out all of today.
I've done it. It's pretty simple.
Well, technically, Operation Wolf is pretty simple, but it's still a lot of fun.
I heard that it's very similar to the Defense of Bothell Station.
Is that the space one?
The one where Obisek talks about how he needs you to close the portals constantly.
Oh, well, I guess we'll see in a moment. Has everybody got a flashy green light?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Flash in here.
Okay, just making sure.
But it's basically the same thing. One person gets at each point, and we have like a couple people that can just, run around and add support, offer support to the against the waves.
Okay. Well, if and when this launches, we will do that. There we go.
Oh, no. I'm being kidnapped.
Oh
I just realized that you can activate the cryo barrier ability in social zones just for the fun of it.
no. Okay, let's see.
Engage their ships when you can, especially those that are actively trying to breach the station's computers. We've been working on a new photonic defense array, but it isn't up
Oh,
and
this is
running
an
yet.
interesting team.
Once activated, it will be vulnerable to Terran interference. We can't let them take control
Same side of
that
Jupiter,
system.
which
Finally,
makes sense
if
actually,
they
but
open up
you know.
any permanent rifts between our 2 universes, be sure to close them. The last thing we need is a permanent Terran beachhead at the heart of the Federation.
Kellis is trying to eat my nacelle.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around. Ooh, 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 ooh. They did a really nice job with that. Okay. turn around and look the other way. But that's pretty.
All these huge ships right next to me.
Battle stations.
A welcoming committee.
I'm going over to Beta.
Shooting the Rescava.
All ships, engage the Terran.
Ah!
This isn't over.
I went too far.
Believe that.
Enterprise, Defiant, take some ships and take her down. Torrestin,
Excuse me.
picking up more ships through the rifts. Close them if you can. Activate the hollow projectors. Let's hope they get the job done. Send the hollow projectors as best you can. Need to clear out the ships at Jupiter Station.
What the heck? What the heck? Was I too far away? It must have been. Turn radius on my ship sucks.
Need to get those rifts under control.
There we go.
Where you guys going?
Need to clear out the ships at Jupiter Station. Need to get those rifts under control.
Yes, yes, I heard you.
Terrans have taken control of Projector Alpha.
Alpha needs some attention.
Okay, so this has several new things that weren't in the TFO with Obisek and the Terrans, because it has the whole data thief thing, which that's from a completely different TFO borrowed.
We've got hostiles on the station. They're breaching our system.
No, they're not.
You mean the one that I just fired quantum torpedoes at? That hostile?
Mm-hmm. That one. The X-hostile.
Projector Alpha is back under orbit.
Okay.
Ow, they hit me.
Well, hit them
I
back.
got a boo-boo.
Rifts aren't going to close themselves.
They seem to be closing themselves.
Need to clear out the ships at Jupiter Station. You need to get those rifts under control.
Is that the only thing you can say, dude?
We've got hostiles on the station. They're breaching our systems. The Terrans have taken control of Projector Alpha. Rifts aren't going to close themselves.
Why does it sound like the guy from The Sims? Something about goofing around.
Actually, it sounds like the captain from Diablo 3.
We've got hostiles on the station. They're breaching our systems.
I'm so sorry, data theft boat.
Did you kill it?
Well, no, I pushed him away so he couldn't actually get to it. And then I killed him.
Yeah, I've been firing torpedo spreads at a whole lot of data thieves.
Now I have tractor repulsors, so I can hit everything near me and just push it away from where I am.
Ah.
Yeah, playing keep away and mission objectives is fun with that.
Give up already. The ISS Enterprise is not having a good time over here.
What I sub-nuke them? Maybe that will make her feel better.
The Enterprise is going for projector out. The Enterprise is going for projector out.
Yeah. We're on our way, dear.
I'm stuck.
The Enterprise is near projector gamma. The Enterprise is near
Saw that
projector
coming.
gamma.
How did we do?
Yeah, let's see. Base marks 10. Rifts closed 97%.
97%.
20 of 24. So everything else,
This is
we
terrible.
done good.
Why does it say-
Inexcusable, Mom.
Why does it say base marks 0, total marks 0?
I got base marks 10 marks.
I got base marks 10.
I don't get it. I don't know.
Okay, I gotta go for a minute. I gotta take my dog out. She's
Okay.
sitting here on my lap, looking at me like, okay.
Oh, yeah. She's saying, you've had fun, now it's my turn. That was pretty cool. I like that one.
Okay, so what it actually gave me was 136 marks.
Yep, I got 136 marks out of it, too.
Weird. There's apparently a bit of a glitch with the way it displays the thing.
That doesn't surprise me too much, as I think I've said before. All right, I'm going to switch over to my other account. I want to try that again on KDF version. If anybody would like to try KDF.
I'm cool with that. So give me a minute to
doesn't
switch
work,
over, and I'd like to see what my power damage character does. Okay, fleet credits.
Give me 1
I
second
don't
to
have that
change something there.
Okie dokie.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Let's see, it's cold enough that my dogs, my very fluffy, heavy dogs, decided to migrate back inside. And are not doing anything for the rest of the day. Good morning, Obi-Wan. No worries. Okay, so I'm going to try that again. Do we want to run that one again, or do we want to run Operation Wolf?
Either way. Switched over my alt so I can get the daily stuff done there, and then I'll go.
Okay, so I'm going to run this one on KDF.
If we get 5, I'll mix team with people.
Okay, yeah. We didn't get Drunken Heretic on that one. Drunken, do you want to join us for one? So Obi-Wan, yeah, we've switched to 5 a.m.s on Monday and then 6 a.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, theoretically. Oops, hold on, I gotta do this way. We'll make a private team so we can mix it up here.
Berserker sword. Ooh.
Anybody else?
Well, I'm on if you need me. I'm on as Vortu.
How many you got right now, Mom?
I got 3 right now. I got me, Drunken, and Frost.
I'll join for a private.
Okay.
Just means we need one more.
One more. One more when we can go mixed.
One sec.
Obi-Wan, you want to join us?
Yeah, I was reading chat.
Okay, no problems.
So I'm going to switch this on someone who does plasma damage.
Okay.
That was my other space damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You said space damage?
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to do the new one then.
Or
no worries. Yeah, I'm out tomorrow doing class, providing it's not 2 degrees, because I am not thrilled about driving my very high mileage older car in 2-degree weather for 200 miles at night.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, no, but I'm only like 4 weeks from a rank promotion, so kinda have to go to classes, but at the same time, it's not always the smartest thing.
Yeah, my concern right now is that in the weather as it is right now, you cannot go on the roads out here.
No, not
there are
where you
people that are going 90 miles an hour just trying to get to where they're going so they can get off the roads. They don't understand when you turn and there's ice forming in the roads, you can't go one direction.
No. Let's see, we got Windchill Advisories for tomorrow for where I'm driving. That's all it says. Thank you. Can we have something slightly more detailed than Windchill? Oh, tomorrow it'll be up to 20.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, really.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It was a 76 here today. I don't like Orlando.
yeah, it's been a lot colder than usual this year around here.
This is actually warmer than it was last year, so
it's really weird and flaky though. It's just like one day it's nice and sunny out, and then the next year like I don't want to be outside.
We need one more person to join us for our private team, otherwise we'll have to go with 4.
Here, okay,
there we go. Thank you. Is everybody ready, or are we waiting on anyone?
I'm all set.
Okay. Alrighty, let me get it going here. What the heck is it? What is the new one called? Yep, that one.
JillieRE. I have no idea how that's actually supposed to be pronounced.
Yeah. Well, nobody does, because let's be honest, Latin's a dead language and nobody knows if you're saying it right or not.
To steal scientific
There's lots of people who speak Latin every day.
Yeah, but are they saying it correctly?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because they have like pronunciation stuff that
How do you
has
know?
survived
No, they don't.
from the 9th and 10th century.
Right, but that's not when it was spoken commonly. And you know as well as I do that linguistic shift can take less than a generation for words to become unfamiliar with what the root words were. Which is why we live in houses, not hussies.
Yeah,
That's how it used to be pronounced. It's a hussy. All the letters were pronounced.
See, because that's the time period where it had already switched from being an everyday spoken language to a language used only by academics for academic stuff.
Here they come. All ships, battle station.
So I just say that you can't know. We speak it with a standardization of language and pronunciation, but we don't know. We could go back there in time and talk to them and they'd just look at us like, what the? We have no idea what you're talking about. It's like when I speak Danish and Pi just looks, or I'm sure looks at me, but it's like, that's not how we talk.
Oh, go back to your UC and talk to us.
I hear the words that are coming out of your mouth, but I have no idea what any of them mean.
No, so they go, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Exactly. Old drunken heretic, just stay inside, dear. Don't go out when you have freezing rain. We're smarter than that here in Indiana. It's 30-some degrees, it's raining, we stay inside.
Oh, sure, that's smart here in Florida.
Well, that's because people in Florida don't understand the concept of.
Tell me about it.
When I was in Djibouti,
through the bodies.
I heard one of the most ridiculously sad stories ever.
Yeah.
Which is that a few years prior to when someone told me the story, they'd had a record low temperature, and they'd had a whole lot of people get hypothermia and die.
Oh yeah.
From record low temperatures.
How low is record low though?
Yeah, 60s.
What?
Low 60s.
Well, okay, technically, yeah, I can see it. I know of people who've been like climbing in the mountains and get hypothermia, and a temperature isn't that low.
See, the thing is though, is that the normal low in that country is in the 80s. That's their normal concept of low temperature.
There are people that regularly freeze to death in the Sierra Nevadas at 60 degrees.
Holy moly.
It's not about the temperature in the air, it's about the temperature at your core.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, also in Djibouti, a lot of the people simply don't own things like blankets because they don't feel they need them. Because again, it's that when the record low temperature or the normal low temperature is low 80s. I mean, really, what's to worry about? People have reason to worry about things like food and water, but not, getting cold. When it's, never cold enough.
When I did SAR in the Adirondacks, that was the biggest problem. Was people wouldn't bring food, they wouldn't bring water, they wouldn't do anything, and so they get dehydrated and then they freeze.
And this is why I refer to it as hypothermia, but not because it wasn't freezing weather. It was just cold weather.
Well, there's a name for that as well. It's called chilblain.
Mm-hmm.
It's when the body is below 90 degrees for more than 15 minutes.
Wow.
The core temperature is
right. No, I gathered what you meant by that.
I have to say, using plasma torpedoes here is loads of fun because they will automatically retarget, and when another one of the stupid little ships spawns, they bum rush it.
But as the range grows on them, they don't really... They lose power quickly.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
You get a lot of damage reduction.
But I don't want to close the rifts. I like shooting everything that comes out of them.
See if I can actually close this one before something spawns to interrupt me. They spawned on top of me. They could have fired on me to interrupt me, but instead chose to shoot at my plasma torpedoes, apparently.
Maybe they're just that nice.
I really have no idea.
Would
Bet you
you
they will.
shut up?
Bet you they will.
We locked down the projectors. Now they're ours for good.
You still here, Grandma? Ugh, I thought our Janeway was annoying. Speaking of annoying, did you like the little back door I put in your station?
Enterprise is back near projector base.
Back in a bit, still going.
Except run away, you little chicken.
I wonder if it's a set pattern, like beta,
No.
alpha, gamma. No.
No.
The Enterprise is going for projector out. The Enterprise is going for projector out.
Really? So glad
yeah.
he's here to tell us these things. They hit my shield. I'm sad.
Don't even try to catch me.
We know where you're gonna go. There's not a lot of catching to be had.
The Enterprise is near projector gamma. The Enterprise is near projector gamma.
Yeah, we're not catching you. We're spawning you. There's a difference.
Ow, that hurt.
Back in a bit, still going.
Oh, come on. You were at 0.
We sent the Terrans home with
And she's dead anyway.
Before she got to say back in a bit, she was at 0.
Yeah, but she's magic. She's got special protective plot armor.
Well, I
Plus,
think
come on,
the
she's Tilly.
idea here is that you don't actually kill her. She warps out instead of getting killed.
Sort of like Quinn. How many times have we murdered Quinn?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
She's our special Tilly. We can't hurt her.
Although in the case of Quinn, he's literally a hologram in that.
Okay, that's a really good
in
point.
Anyways.
Not for long. If you read the plot, we're going to Mirror ESD next soon.
Oh, God. Because they completely just gave up on, like, a continuous platform, and now they're just throwing random things at the wall.
What do you mean?
I don't like the way that Discovery is going.
Oh, Discovery?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about this.
There's supposed to be a thing where they're supposed to go to the mirror universe in the next few episodes.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't watch Discovery.
It's just such a weird, just mythos.
I'd love to have some lower decks thrown into this, though.
They said that they're the biggest issue is getting CBS to approve it is that they basically have to redesign everything from lower decks.
Yeah, I can see that, but it'd still be great to have some of the characters in here. I mean, we've got our...
Like you know how they did the bridge officer things? Or duty officers?
Mm-hmm.
They created, like, in-game versions of them, and CBS apparently is the reason why they changed it to the copies of the cartoon cutouts.
It's fine with me. Still fun.
Yeah, I know. But, again, though, that apparently that they've had issues with getting CBS to approve things that are a different art style than the original source material.
Well, poo on them.
I know.
I mean, let's be honest. Who's more hardcore about lower decks than we are? Think about it. We are the crazy people.
I know.
Well,
I know.
probably the people who actually made that series.
What'd you say, DT?
The people who made that series might be a little more hardcore.
No.
No, that's debatable.
They got paid to make it. We pay to enjoy it.
Hey, somebody's eyes are glowing. Let's kick him in the nuts.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to throw that part of the game in here, but it'd be fun. It would be fun.
Although,
all right, let's see.
The whole somebody's eyes are glowing thing in Star Trek Online, there's a kit module for that.
Which means we need a kit module to kick somebody in the nuts.
We do. We need more awesome kit modules. Okay, folks, what are we up to next?
Well, I already did my list of things I had.
Well, I guess we can all go to bed then.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping to talk to you really quick.
I was being facetious. I wasn't going to log off for a couple hours here.
Oh, okay. I don't want to go to Kentucky.
Don't go to Kentucky. I actually kind of like Kentucky when I was there.
I mean, I think I've been there briefly, but not really long enough to appreciate it properly.
I was there for 9 years.
Oh, well, that would definitely be long enough.
Technically.
That's interesting. There we go. What was I doing in Kentucky? Oh, I was there doing insurance medical exams, very preliminary ones. And we had to do blood draws on people who I swear had not had a glass of water in 20 years.
Hey, they just lived that. Well, W.C. Field said, "I refuse to drink anything fish make love in."
Yeah. But they would drink Mountain Dew and sweet tea. And could pop the vein pretty easily with the needle, and then it's just like, jeez, hyper viscous, and all of a sudden you begin to understand why there's so much heart disease there. That stuff isn't blood. I mean, I've seen molasses that's thicker than some of the blood samples we drew. Ugh.
You mean thinner?
You're right, thinner. Thank you. Well, thicker too, but yes, definitely thin. Both of it. It was horrible. It's just no, not doing that. And then, of course, that was the week we were there. Was same time they're having some kind of fair, and one of my coworkers decided we all had to have funnel cakes, and I'm like, no. I don't need to eat anything sweet ever after seeing that. Okay, who wants to do what?
Yeah,
I want to fly like an eagle.
I want to fly like an eagle.
Okay, what you need is big feathery pillow. Take the feathers out, make wings. Get on your roof, start flapping your arms real hard, and jump.
I don't think I'm going to fly like an eagle at that point. I'm going to fall like a condor. But not really
I
fly
want to
like
plummet like a condor.
I don't know. I think it'd be more like a rock.
It's probably. I mean, I wouldn't go as quickly as if I were a rock because there is a little bit more drag with the feathers.
I mean, condors are known for their gliding habits.
But I don't have the right proportions to my anatomy to glide with feathers.
Nor do you have the proper bone structure.
Yeah.
We kind of pureed bone structure at the end of it.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot closer at the end.
It'd be closer to soup than a bird.
Yep.
Depending on how high up he is when he jumps.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long to turn you into puree.
No.
I'm on the third floor, so I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
It might.
It might not get.
It would definitely be
pureed
crunchy.
Don't worry, it's not the fall that's going to get you. It's that sudden stop at the end.
It's that
Yes.
sudden stop. Yep.
All right, who's up for something? And if you're not up for something, shall we do some randoms?
I can do it random.
I got to,
I have to
like
take care
I
of
said,
something. I'll be
I
back.
got to take care of 30 Tholian ships, so I'm going to go to Archer and get a start on that.
Okay, well, who was up for random? We can go random. All right. Anybody else?
I'll get in on the next one. I'm trying to
Okay.
do some cleanup work on my inventory.
No problems.
They finally, all this extra space, and I'm trying to clean it out again.
Yeah, you get all this space, and now you're like, okay, so now I have to rearrange everything so that it fits properly.
Yeah, I know.
And now I'm looking at all these extra ship slots. I'm going,
I could fill those up.
I can fill this up rather easily. What do I want to put there?
I mean, I have enough Z-Store ship unlocks that simply claiming all of them would max my ship slots out anyways.
Yeah.
Same here.
Between it and the stuff I have in the dry dock, oh yeah.
All right, I'm going to queue us up then for a private. Sorry, not for a private, for a random, if everybody's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, should hit Weewoo?
No.
No?
I changed characters, so
You said you were stepping out for a minute.
I'm going. Yeah, I have to go kill 30 Tholians. So
Right, okay.
So I don't know if my old tune was still on the
No,
team.
no, it shouldn't be. Mar Hawkman, did you get a Weewoo? And Drunken, did you get a Weewoo?
Oh wait, hold on. I'm going to leave the private.
Okay,
See if that
I'm going to
fixes
decline
it.
that.
Because yeah, I just looked in it, and it still had me in the private.
Okay,
from
that might
the
explain why
previous
we're
thing.
having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right, so let me kick you from the private there. All right, let's try that again. Flashy green lights.
Yes.
No.
DT, are you joining us? I thought you were doing Tholians.
No.
Oh my
I was
god.
messing with-
You're
I
so
messed
messing with me. Weewoo?
Yes.
Drunken, you got a Weewoo? I will not hit accept till I find out if Drunken's got a Weewoo or not. Oh, he didn't. I'm going to decline it. That's weird.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, hang on a second.
I just got pulled into it.
Okay. Which one did you get pulled into?
Counterpoint.
Ah. Okay. Let's try this again. I'm going to kick you out of there. I'm going to make sure we're empty here. I will re-invite you. Not you, since you're obviously doing that one. I'd say something, but then DT will just make snarky comments.
I always make snarky comments, so
Yes, you do.
you don't have to say anything, and I start making snarky comments. I mean,
Yeah,
you know me for how long, and you don't.
I know.
that's his default setting.
Huh.
When I don't make a snarky comment, that's when you gotta worry.
Hey, let's try something here. Keeps telling me that you're in a task force already. So, okay. That's really weird. Hey, Drunken Heretic, you want to try inviting me and see if that works? Okay. Okay, you've been invited. Let's see if it accepts. Okay. Weewoo?
It's still woo-wee for me.
Yay, we have Weewoo. Exclusively ignoring him. Who is who's standing in front of me? Ah, it's Trooper. Hi, Trooper.
Ever since I
Excuse
left
me
that
for
old-
yawning.
Ever since I left that old fleet, everybody and their mom has been sending me invites.
Yeah. Are you in a fleet at the moment?
Not
Hey.
that Jessa isn't, not anymore.
Okay. Picard 47, good evening. Yeah, I have a few tunes who are not in fleets, and every time I go any place, I get invitations like, no, thank you. I've got fleets to join when I get around to it. But I haven't gotten around to it
Well,
yet.
I will be joining a fleet soon, just not this way.
If you ever need a fleet, we're here until you figure out what you want to do if you need to get stuff. A little Azure Nebula.
Wouldn't mind putting Jessa back in one again.
Sure.
Like I said, the only reason I left that other one was literally dead. I mean,
I'm familiar with that.
yeah, it was 1 minute we had everything practically maxed out, then all of a sudden it's just like me and one other person logging in only.
Yep. So we wound up, DT, since you're off doing Tholians, doing Azure Nebula. Had you but waited.
Funny part is I got my Tholians done.
Ah.
Archer system alone.
Well, yeah, Archer system will give you a 30 plus.
Yeah.
If you are caught inside the web, try to destroy one side of it and escape before it collapses.
The fleet invite spammers, yes, but I've learned to just not hang out on ESD and a bunch of other places where it's very obvious that you're not in a fleet.
DS9, New Romulus, pretty much social zones.
Yeah. Fortunately, she's a Ferocin. One of them's a Ferocin, so she's not very social.
Still, I'm wondering where they're going to take this storyline of bringing in something as big as V'ger.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. They wouldn't have written it if they didn't have an idea of where they're going to go.
Well, I'm sure they know exactly where they're going to go. It's just how they get there.
Precisely.
If they can keep it as interesting as it's been, I'm good with it.
Are they really going to try to have us go to whatever machine planet V'ger came from?
I have no idea.
Well, the big question...
You realize I got a theory.
Shoot.
You know the space tentacles at the end of Picard? What if they made V'ger?
Oh. Well, here's another thing. Here's something that's bugging me. Is Ilya still connected to V'ger? Because like I said, the last we saw of her, Decker, and V'ger were merging into one existence.
Yeah, yes.
Right.
Now she's been kicked out. Is she still connected to it?
And what happened to the other two pieces?
Precisely.
Because, I mean, they were transformed into energy and went to a higher level of existence. How do you come back from that?
Well, let's see.
Go ask the Alterans from Stargate. They do it all the time.
But is it the same thing? Because, you know, that's a specific phase of existence, not, you know, the same one.
I mean, technically the Organians kind of do it too, but...
So it's kind of commonplace then.
Well, I mean, in the case of the Organians, that they just aren't what's the word for it? Humanoids. The Organians just aren't humanoids. But that's
They
kind of the thing with Ilea and V'ger is that V'ger wasn't a humanoid either. It's literally a computer.
It was a Voyager.
It was a space probe.
But we don't know what the other side of it was.
Right.
We don't know the history of that.
Spock described the V'ger homeworld as living machines.
Right.
It's the Transformers.
Hey, that was my line, darn it.
Yes, that thought has occurred to me.
Actually, no, this is Star Trek. It wouldn't be the Transformers, it'd be the GoBots.
Oh, ouch. That hurt. That wouldn't hurt.
Man, I was hoping Transformers. I get the Transform knockoffs, man.
Trying to get the ship freed, otherwise we're not going to make it. We only have 30 seconds left here. We lost a player at some point, so...
And I'm getting hit with a lag spike from hell.
Yeah,
I've
I've heard people have having lag issues all day.
That's because it's new content. Every time there's new content, there's lag because the servers get loaded up. I will say I have not really had any real lag issues today, which is...
Oh. I haven't either, but that's because I've been at work until the last 3 hours, 2.5 hours.
It's been my day off. But...
I've had no lag issues up until just now, and I've been online pretty much all day doing with other people.
Well, it's 5:30 Pacific, so it's kind of
prime time.
Kind of their prime time-ish. Or a big population center prime time.
Hey, Satalia, we were already discussing the Shatner books and their take on this whole thing. Could be interesting. I have to go reread them. There's a 5.
Don't believe we should have Shatner books be our plot point.
We've got
I mean,
no, we shouldn't.
I agree, yes, in principle.
Otherwise, we'll wind up having tech war, and you know what happens.
Yes.
And we'll have Emperor Tiberius. I much prefer Emperor Jojo or Emperor Sato.
Yes, Empress Sato was
awesome.
interesting.
Awesome.
I'm curious at who they're going to be bringing in as the Emperor.
Well, we know who it won't be.
Shatner.
No, our character.
Yeah, no, that'd be way too cool.
As far as, it won't be Shatner either, because unless somehow something...
Yeah. He has expressed his displeasure.
We can thank that old community
for all eternity. Ooh. Want to hear my thought, which would be an interesting emperor?
Go for it.
George Takei, Sulu.
Oh my god, that would be great. What a kick.
That would be interesting right there.
Yeah. Satalia says Kurland.
Except Kurland doesn't have the person in the Kurland voice doesn't have a SAG card, and
you know, one thought with George Takei is that from an in-universe perspective, it would actually make sense for Sulu to know about V'ger.
Yeah, it would, absolutely.
But would Mirror Sulu know?
Yes.
You could argue the point that he might. Yes.
What we do know is that this person actually knows of V'ger.
Yeah.
So that's one thing right there.
Picard 47 is my guess on Emperor is Picard, and I'm thinking, yeah. I mean, he does game voices.
Yeah.
A
lot of times it's Picard.
Yeah.
He's done the game. He did the narration for Starfleet Command 3 and a few other games.
Oh yeah, he did what is it? Elder Scrolls. Yeah, not Transylvania. God, what was the name of that one?
Castlevania?
Thank you, Castlevania. Yeah. Among others, he's done a lot.
Actually, I have a theory on somebody who had been around enough to recognize it. And could still possibly be alive because we don't know what his lifespan is.
Yeah.
Original series, Flint.
You could argue for it, but it wouldn't be...
The immortal.
Yeah, but in terms of storytelling, wouldn't be nearly as much fun as a Picard or somebody who's a mainline character that we know. Why is my ship?
You know, there is someone I just thought of that when going for like beings with strange powers, like because like it's been said that the Terran Emperor in Star Trek Online is someone who is genuinely superhuman. Who mourns for Adonis?
Apollo?
Apollo?
Or one of Apollo's children, because of the fact that a thing that was, I'm not sure if it was actually officially considered canon, is the idea that that science officer from the Enterprise, hooked up with him.
Right.
Not officially considered canon, but yeah.
No, but that was the last episode she was in, the only episode she was in, and in some of the non-canon, and even canon fic, that was the assumption. I keep dying for some reason. Emperor Kel in a Mirror Oberth.
Legendary Mirror Oberth.
Yeah, if you're going to dream big. That would be fun.
We can theory craft practically all day. All we know is that one, he is highly intelligent, has plans within plans. Two, he knows of things that's happened in this universe, in the Prime universe.
I know.
And things like that.
Aside from Wesley, which would be really funny, Emperor Barclay. That would be just wrong on like a million levels.
I've only got one thing to say. If it's Emperor Wesley, please, I hope to God they give us a dialogue option of "Shut up, Wesley."
Honestly, at this point, I think that he would probably have that as a part of his terms for playing the role, because he's kind of famous for hating the character of Wesley Crusher.
Yep.
I still love the point. I don't want to hear anyone say "Shut up, Wesley" again. So Patrick Stewart tweets him, "Shut up, Will."
Yes, Drunken Heretic said, Emperor Wesley tells you to shut up.
In Tennant Empire, you don't tell Wesley to shut up. Wesley shuts you up.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly about right, though.
Well, who else could they... I mean, for me, the V'ger was unexpected. Or the Alea, actually. Ilea? I always say it wrong. Ilea.
The Ilea part caught me. I mean, I kind of figured they were going V'ger when, that cutscene and you're hearing V'ger speak.
And that cutscene wasn't really a plasma point or even looked like the scan. It looked different.
Yeah. But it's like a Terran version of the V'ger effect, perhaps,
Well, I was more or less going by the theme music here, and after that planet vanished.
Yeah, that too. It's like it's not even the first time that the devs have used that sound effect in Star Trek Online.
Yeah.
It used to be that the Unimatrix Pickles would do that in the Borg Red Alerts. I think they actually did intentionally remove that at some point, though.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, that's because like I said, one of the old EVPs had that headcanon of the Borg and V'ger were the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, until the Unimatrixes get a redone model, you're still going to have that visual cue.
You mean the toothbrush holders?
Yep. Because that is how the full V'ger model looks.
Well, actually, it's like the front half of the V'ger model, and not the back half. And they kind of like mirrored the front half because the back half is like ridiculous.
It basically goes from technological to almost organic.
All sorts of like weird like assortments of plates in bubbly things.
Not really. I'm looking at a picture of it right now. I mean, they did mirror, but it's not. I mean, it looks different, but it definitely has. You can definitely see a great amount of similarity as I posted up into the Twitch stream.
Oh yeah, it's definitely inspired by, shall we say?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, definitely similar.
Too similar. And what makes it, and the unusual point is you look at that, the Unimatrixes, you look at that thing, and then you look at every other Borg ship, which is
square, cube, yeah.
Yeah.
Some sort of geometric shapes.
Yeah.
Even if it's a weird conglomeration of geometric shapes, it's still geometric shapes put together.
Okay, most things are geometric shapes.
Well, I mean, like the Borg like unit complex.
A starship is a geometric shape.
It's a bunch of them.
Yeah. Cylinders. Well, a lot of cylinders when you think about it. Just cylinders of varying heights.
Figure if I'm just sitting here for a moment, might as well do the Omega game.
Might as well. I think it is just about time for me to play that famous game. What's in the box? What's in the box?
Oh, trying some of the lock.
150,000 EC. 250,000 EC. 500,000 EC, 1,000 dilithium, and some normal R&D materials.
Normal? What fun is normal?
I don't know.
Normal's for normies.
Yeah. Nobody here is.
Yep, see, we're safe.
Normal.
We are all safe here. All right.
I actually got lucky on one of my endeavors and got the 500,000 EC bundle.
Nice.
I've hit 1 million on some days doing the whole.
I love the Omega games, Italia. I actually did lunch today so I could sit there and just. My boss came in. I'm like, just playing the game. Don't worry. Yeah. There's no normies in this chat, Heretic. All right. Who wants to do a random TFO?
I'm in.
Give me an X in chat if you've got one. Let's see. Picard wants to join us too. So Picard 47 Alpha. There you are. Gotcha. Let's see. Jack, who are you on? You still on Jessa?
Yep, I'm my main character.
There you are. Okay. Let's see. Get in. Got room for one more person if one more person would like to join us. DT?
Fed or KDFs?
Fed.
Let me change tunes and then I will join you.
Okay.
Might as well roll out I'm thinking the Romulan.
Go for it. I have no idea what we'll get. I'm fine for space and tolerable on ground. Hello to everybody who's joined us this evening. I hope you're all enjoying the new mission, which is awesome, but I'm going to go back and play it and just listen to the dialogue and explore Jupiter Station, because, I want that for a social zone.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. I will invite you, Picard 47, let me know when you're ready. Excuse me for yawning. You folks aren't boring. I'm just still dealing with not having enough sleep lately. I blame the fact that, it's 5 o'clock and dark when I get home.
I know the feeling there. But yeah, I'm good to go.
Okay. Everybody set?
Yep.
Almost. Oh, let me play Changeling Guy is always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just friend him because he is always around.
This time, Obi-Wan, we're full, but I'll grab you for the next one if that's okay. We'll switch it out.
Let me play Changeling's there. He's always there. He's like Badgie.
Badgie. Trying not to do caffeine late in the day right now, because I'm going to have to do it tomorrow and I want it to work. So it's roughly 2.5, 3 hour drive to and from class. So on the way home, leave there at 7, stop and get a coffee. In this last trip, I got a third of the way and realized the coffee wasn't working, but it's only 8 o'clock, so it's a college town and you can find coffee
everywhere.
Yeah. So I get a second coffee. That gets me up to Danville. Danville, Illinois stops at 9 o'clock. There's no coffee, but I have a bunch of cans of caffeinated water with me. So I drink a couple of those, figuring either I'll have to stop and go to the bathroom or the caffeine will keep me awake for the last hour. And about 15 minutes later, I'm realizing it's not working, so I got out the big guns, the stuff that'll definitely keep you going. Ozzy Osbourne. Cranked it. Windows open.
Crazy. That's how it goes.
Actually, I was doing, I don't want to stop. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cue us.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Wee woo, everybody.
Wee woo.
Wee woo.
That's 3. Okay.
Apparently it worked. I'm beaming.
Yes.
Same here.
Let's see what we're beaming into. Swarm. Okay.
The Herc are about to
And I would be in my more DPS oriented, not my crowd control.
Hey, Ed. Yeah. We get to talk in the new one.
Yeah, we have a voice. Be it a throw ripped out mechanical voice, but we have a voice.
Too many Terran cigars.
Well, I'm going to do my usual and head over to Gamma. Where am I flying? Oh, okay.
Oh.
I has my Gagarin here.
Oh, your ships are so tiny.
Oh, people. My ships are awesome in their tininess. I don't need any of your stinking giant ships.
Well, I think I'll see you guys later.
Alrighty, take care. Be safe. Sleep well. Natalia, what channel was it? So Talia says, so I was browsing the Stowe category on Twitch one morning, and I came across one channel that was a BRB screen, and somebody in the background was doing the naughty.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That violates some terms of service.
Hey, baby, you want to violate terms of service with me? Would you like to know more?
No, actually. Actually, yes, I would like to know more. Here's what I want to know. How do the 3 seashells work?
Oops, we missed one. What'd we miss?
Well done.
Oh, we didn't miss it. Okay.
Yeah, I had to go take care of 5 of them. It took me a moment.
There you go. Yes. It says violating TOS while playing Stowe on a TOS tune. Very meta.
It's like Aaron playing STO, playing Nog.
Yep.
Probably the most meta thing I saw at a Star Trek convention.
It was pretty cool. We got 2.
Now we just gotta go clean everything up, because... Which all seem to be down at this other end here.
Which end are you at?
I'm headed towards your end where I saw everything.
Yeah, nothing going on down
It looks like there's a couple...
Nothing much was happening.
Looks like somebody snuck back over behind me.
Not much was happening.
Yeah. Let's run away from the people shooting us.
The last.
Maybe I should make some coffee.
More coffee, more coffee, more coffee.
Escape route Gamma. Get over there.
Bright light.
You know the ship we need in Stowe?
Besides the Mirror Oberth, the legendary Mirror Oberth. What do we need in Stowe?
The Jaeger class.
Ooh, I'd like that.
That would be interesting.
Yep.
The old Frankenstein fleet, part F-14, part Intrepid.
Okay, so it is going back to the can we speculate on who the Emperor is now that we know he is a heel. He is a he. I have a feeling about someone, could be a spoiler, but it also can't be using the same actor as he's no longer welcome anywhere.
It can't be who I think it is.
No, I don't want it. No, no Decker. No, please, no Decker.
Ooh, that would be very bad. They wouldn't do that.
Well, they couldn't get Stephen Collins to do it, and I speculate on that will.
Get over there.
Yeah, I'm voting for Picard. Evil Mirror Picard would be, like, awesome.
Kirk Dreadnought on sensors. Be careful.
There's that Dreadnought. There's that Dreadnought. I'm going to go pay a visit to the Dreadnought.
Yeah, I was thinking about mirror data.
Well, a lot of it's also got to come down into if the actor is going to be wanting to come back into the role of anything like that.
Well, I mean, they do the roles on TV, so that's one thing. But voiceovers for games, not everybody does. I mean, there is a bit of a stigma. Of course, there used to be a stigma to doing TV as opposed to doing movies, and for a while there was a stigma for doing movies versus the theater.
And there was also a stigma for playing a really famous character in movies.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah, well, a lot of people like Mark Hamill didn't really have an acting career after Star Wars. Because everybody wanted
Oh,
to
I
cast
see what you mean, yeah.
Get over there.
And yet you get your Harrison Fords who not only become iconic as Han Solo, but iconic as
Indiana Jones. Jack Ryan.
Yep. Yeah, Hamill does a lot of voice. Oh, there you go. Mirror Emperor Luke Skywalker.
No, not Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, think about it.
The Joker.
No.
He's more. I would argue his voice work. He's probably more famous for being the Joker.
I kind of
Emperor Skeletor.
Yeah. Which he did in his Joker voice, which was...
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah, because in Kevin Smith's little He-Man revival, he did voice Skeletor. Three minutes left. Can we just take a vacation?
This is a vacation. Just get to float around, go shooty.
But I want to leave them to themselves.
We have to protect the refugee ships. Excuse me, troop ships is a different episode.
I don't believe that. We don't need to protect refugees.
Good evening.
I don't believe in protecting refugees. Now, conscripts for the Emperor's army.
Ooh. Well, we can't do Mirror Archer.
Actually, we probably could. Scott Bakula.
But then we kind of already go there once in the Mirror episodes of Enterprise.
Kind of, yeah, and he did die.
Mm-hmm.
Still, with time travel, anything's possible.
This is true. Ooh, we could have Mirror Picard and Mirror Scott Hamill, and they could whine about Uber or whatever they were whining about.
I don't know if it was Grubhub, I think it was.
Was it Grubhub? DoorDash, Grubhub.
DoorDash.
Some meal delivery service.
Yeah. Those were pretty funny.
I am my
Yeah.
dad. What?
What?
Wait, that's not right.
Mirror Ducat. Interesting.
But the first point is that won't work. You've got to figure the person leading the Terran Empire is going to be...
Terran?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, Mark Alimo's voice isn't everything it used to be. I am sorry to say.
Well, perhaps judicious editing.
I mean, that would be like Emperor Quark.
Oh. Yeah, except not Terran.
Exactly.
Well, I will say they kept the surprise of it being Janeway and Kate Mulgrew doing the voice. They kept that secret.
They did a good job on that one.
They did that.
Oh, Mirror Garrick, I like that idea.
Ooh, I know somebody. He's started doing voice work too.
Who?
Emperor Chakotay.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'd put that one on the short list with Picard and Riker.
That could be really interesting.
I mean, since he's doing voice work for Prodigy, where
Mm-hmm.
I guess where Kate Mulgrew actually started into this whole thing because she was the.
That's interesting.
I'd say shortlist that one, definitely.
I mean, I know who I would love to see as the Emperor too.
Who?
Emperor Sisko.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
However, if we were facing Emperor Sisko, I'd just go ahead and surrender and be done with it.
Yeah.
Emperor Sisko sent a chill down my spine, I must say.
It's already bad enough.
Oh, that's right. Mirror Sisko is dead.
That's not going to stop them. If they wanted to write it, they could write it.
It'd still work because remember, he's part prophet.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Time
point.
travel is a thing there.
Really?
But is that also the case in the Mirror universe, or is that just Prime?
If they wanted it to be, it could be.
We know the prophets exist in the Mirror universe.
Yeah, Sisko would be awesome. Sisko would actually be a threat up there with the Iconians when they were still really tough.
Let me say and then I would explain his soft start for the Bajoran Admiral, Lita. But let me say this: all hail Emperor Sisko, conqueror of the prophets.
Oh yeah, that's got something to it.
Oh great, Space Pope has been upgraded to Space God. Yep, I surrender.
Which would explain why his enforcer who are playing, ready for the, there is a point here, you're throwing major clues out, remember. The ship our Inquisitor commands is Defiant. AKA the pimp hand of Sisko.
That's very accurate.
Data's cat. Okay, so Duffy votes for Spot. Emperor Spot. And it's definitely male, so we know that much. Oh, is that another one? I'll take that one too. Thank you. I love my kitty catties. I would love to have some dog tunes, but they'd just be too doy. Duh.
And if we can't get Avery Brooks, we can imagine instead Emperor Jake Sisko.
Not the same thing.
Not the same. Actually, he never existed there, so we can't do that. Not the same for sure.
Unless somehow Emperor Sisko is actually Prime Sisko.
No.
What?
Imagine. Remember who played the grown-up Jake Sisko?
No.
Tony Todd.
Tony Todd. And he's in the game already.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Emperor Porthos. Yes. Picard, my kitty's flying a Garen Miracle Worker, but still a fine ship.
That's one of the better ships in the game, I think.
Mm-hmm. I haven't done it up to a T6X, which I will because sure is a priority ship, and I have a whole bunch of T6X coupons.
I'd fleet ship it before you X-shipped it, Mom. I would do fleet.
I can do both, so there, yeah, because I'm special.
Well, I know you can do both. I'm just trying to give you the best option for your.
Let's see if
the benefit to putting it on the fleet version is it's applied to the fleet version. The benefit to putting it on the non-fleet version is it's account wide.
Yeah, but any fleet version you pick up on any other character is free tier 6X.
True, but still you would have to spend the resources. That's my.
Yeah.
Since you're talking about Emperor Sisko, I remind you he's actually dead.
Yeah, well, that's never stopped anybody from doing anything in this game. Think about it.
Oh, just saying.
Look at Ilya. She technically was absorbed into an energy being, and yet here she is back again.
Really?
Technically, she was scanned and disintegrated, brought back as a machine, merged with a human and another machine into a being of another dimensional being of pure energy.
So yeah, death.
And she's got
Death
better.
is irrelevant.
Mirror Shacks, Emperor Mirror Shacks.
Bajoran.
But I still like Emperor Boimler. I said that last time.
Emperor Boimler.
That would be precious.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Might be hard to take him seriously, but
actually, Boimler, despite everything, is incredibly proficient at things. Remember the no-win Borg scenario, which he won.
That's true.
I suspect Mirror Boimler would not have the confidence issues that Prime Boimler would. I think he would be far more, to use a Lorca term, he would have vaulting ambition.
He'd probably be more like
Boimler, when he gets rolling, he is unstoppable. Case in point, the episode where they were doing those drills and all that.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
To get a perfect score with the Borg.
Yeah, and don't forget, he outthought the computer, played by everybody's favorite Jeffrey Combs.
Oh yes.
He fooled the computer.
That's your Emperor.
Emperor Shran.
Yeah, Shran could actually
work.
No.
I'm thinking the evil computer.
I know. I was joking.
Yeah, it's too bad it's Terran, because I could come up with quite a few non-Terrans.
Well, actually, you can probably group in Vulcans and Andorians.
Yeah,
and Trill and Bajorans.
Well,
no.
Depends what version of the mirror universe you're going by, because
intended was a Bajoran. Lita's definitely Bajoran. So.
Okay, that's a really good point.
Yeah,
and Quinn was is confirmed to be an admiral in the mirror universe as well. So
what about Sean?
Oh no!
And Kamarki herself also commands a ship.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah, that's true.
But this last episode, she's basically Killy's pet. But that would be wrong. That would be so wrong. And it just slipped out of my head again.
What?
Oh, it was something in game, and it was like it would have been perfect it would have been perfectly frightening for the Emperor, and it just slipped away again because all these other names were popping out.
It was too frightening. I ran away.
Yeah.
So Talia says Jeffrey Combs is the Emperor.
Emperor Bonniekin.
I paid to see that.
Yeah. Emperor Geen. Sweet. Okay, who's up for another TFO? Emperor EMH? Emperor the Doctor.
All I know is if it's Ensign Kim, I'm out.
I still, like I said, I don't think we'll get Avery Brooks, which would be awesome. Let's be honest.
It would be really good though.
Emperor Chakotay.
Might be Emperor Chakotay. I still think Emperor Picard would be awesome.
Emperor Picard would be delicious.
And it depends on how deep the new parent company's pockets are.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or how charitable Patrick Stewart is.
Well, he does other voiceovers, so he might be willing to.
I mean, he plays the poop emoji.
Emperor Tom Paris? No.
See, I can see Tom basically being more or less a ship captain or a pirate.
Yeah, but not Emperor.
Tom would definitely.
I see Tom Paris is dead, but okay.
They never really explained what happened to Mirror Paris. They never showed anything about Mirror Paris, but never know.
The only thing we've seen out of Voyager in the Mirror Universe is Janeway so far. And it looks like Janeway kind of assimilated Seven.
Well, we did see a glimpse of Mirror Tuvok, didn't we?
No.
In DS9?
We saw
Yes, we did.
Tuvok in Prime Voyager.
No, but I mean,
Yeah, I think it was the first
Yeah.
Mirror episode in
Yeah, I think we
DS9.
did.
We see Mirror
Yeah.
Tuvok.
I think it was the first one that Cisco went back, right? Or
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cisco went over? Yeah.
No, it wasn't Cisco in the first one. The first one was Bashir and Kira.
No, but I think there was Cisco interacted with him.
Mm-hmm.
Who's up for a TFO? Random TFO.
I'll do a random one.
Okie dokie. And you're on.
I'm on Garrett right now.
But I would say the short list of who could be the Emperor, I would have to put it down to possibly Chakotay or Picard. I'd seriously doubt they get Avery Brooks, though.
Man, if they could, that would be so good.
Oh, that would be,
Riker?
that would be epic.
Obi-Wan, did you want to join us? Got Gideon here. Go.
Is it possible it's Riker and they got Jonathan Frakes?
That would be so cool.
That would also, that's another short lister right there.
Yeah.
Jonathan Frakes has said on conventions that he wants to be part of the game.
And he has done voice work before, and he's getting into voice work again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's done voice work in whatchamacallit?
Lower Decks.
He did
that
voice
too.
work. He did voice work back in his TNG days in Gargoyles.
Of course,
Exactly.
yeah. I remember gargoyles. Love gargoyles. Hey, I've got room for one more person. Is anybody
Oh, I
else?
remember my scary thought.
Half the cast of TNG was in Gargoyles.
Yeah. Ready for
Yeah,
the ready for the scary thought for the Emperor, since gender really has been non-specific for a while for the Emperor.
Okay.
Emperor Troy.
Nope.
Mom's not even talking anymore.
Nope.
Fascinating.
Emperor Deanna Troy.
Well,
No.
Marina Sirtis would like that role.
Yeah.
No, I
She's-
just no.
Well,
Nobody,
the
no.
actress has been known to be kind of a biznatch at conventions.
One more person for a random TFO.
I'm not in the game right now, so otherwise I join you.
Does the thought of a psychic emperor scare you, Mom? Is that why you keep going, no?
No, I just don't see her. But Emperor Beverly Crusher. There is a fanfic with Beverly in the Mirror universe, and she is just ruthless. It's amazing. Really well done fanfic.
There's actually some comics that take place in the Mirror TNG universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is where
I can kind of see her being a really, really morbid, like evil Dr. Fox type. I don't know.
I need a fifth person for a rant. Actually, I don't need a fifth person.
Ooh.
Anybody else?
No, he's dead. Can't do that. No, he's not dead. We can't do that. Emperor Julian Sabato Bashir.
Emperor Guinan.
Bashir could be a possibility.
He is an augment. He probably
I
still
think-
is in the Mirror
God, yeah,
universe.
he would be.
I think Bashir's a good. I think Bashir's good. Either Emperor Bashir or Emperor O'Brien.
Emperor O'Brien. That would be good. I'm going to queue us up, folks.
Emperor Khan Singh.
Weeble?
Wee woo.
It's hard to say if Cole Meany will be wanted to come back, though. That's the kicker.
Yeah, that's what I had said. Definitely Emperor Broccoli. Emperor Gowron.
Klingon.
Oh yeah, good point. Hi, Bob Bear. How are you?
The jokes on all of us. It's actually
I'm
Sela.
kind of thinking of Khan Singh, though, right now.
No, you got a good point. I don't know who they'd have to voice it, though. They could.
Cumberbatch. I mean, good luck getting him, but I mean, he's the only one I would pick.
But the problem
Obviously,
would
you're
be-
not getting
the problem would be at this point, Khan would be physically around 200.
He's an augment. What does that mean to them? It's
Yeah, but
mere
he-
time.
He doesn't age as
Oh
fast
God,
as
not
everyone
this
else.
one. Ah,
Not again.
not again. It's an omen.
I mean, how old was he when he encountered Kirk the second time?
Hard to say because he'd been in cryo.
Well, he was on the Botany Bay, yeah.
Yeah, he was on the Botany Bay and Cryo for 300 years, and then he was on. Then he seemed to age around normally because he seemed relatively around Kirk's age type.
Well, you also got to take into account the Botany Bay may never been found in the mirror universe.
Or the minute they found it, they blew it
Botany
up.
Bay may have never been launched in the mirror universe either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it could have been, and that would give you a way to pull him into the story.
But I'm going to say it right now, I cannot see anybody else playing Khan but Ricardo Montalbano.
Yeah.
Well, I would see him back live and well too, but they said the only one you're probably going to get a voice to him at this point, if you have any chance at all to get a person to voice him, is Cumberbatch.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be the same.
Wouldn't be the same, but I mean, I can see the fans respecting it.
No.
I mean, okay, at this point, I wouldn't think of him as Khan as much as I'd think of him as Doctor Strange.
You know, I have two really kind of joking ideas here. Ready for the first joking idea?
Okay.
I'm going to preface this. These are not serious. These are designed to make you laugh. Emperor Hasselhoff. Respect the Hoff.
For some reason, I can actually see that for some ungodly stupid reason.
And see, when you rattled off that name, I suddenly got the lyrics to Rhinestone Cowboy playing in my head. Oh, no. Because the mirror universe is probably like singing like "Die Motherfucker Die."
Talia says Jeffrey Combs could voice Khan. It's a good point.
Yeah.
He probably could.
Jeffrey Combs can voice everyone.
That
Let's
would
be
be another
honest.
person that I think the fans would actually respect voicing Khan too. But
Yeah.
I still like what someone said on Ares' stream earlier this morning was Emperor Kale, and his flagship is the Oberth.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
Yes.
Legendary Oberth.
100%.
Yeah.
A legendary Oberth.
And his melee weapon of choice is a canoe paddle.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Print it. Ship it.
And he has one special power, the power of denial. If he hits you with that power, you don't get a ship for 10 years.
If he hits you with that power, your ship goes to the back of the line. You can't use it for a while.
Right.
Until someone sneaks it in.
Until another player sneaks it in on you.
This is actually opportune. My art endeavor for tonight is 30s and Kethy ships.
Well, there you go.
I still find it funny. I'm murdering Tholians. You get a random together and get it as your nebula.
Yeah. Just for reference, though, if you ever get Zenkethy ships and they're not in the Gonkra battle zone, pull up the mission Scylla and Charybdis.
Oh, yes.
Because the protomatter torpedoes count as ships.
Mm-hmm. I think they also count as destructible
Yes, they
torpedoes.
do. Believe me, I've had the fun of getting Zenkethy ships and destructible torpedoes. And I'm like, just give me some damage to go with that, and it's a trifecta.
Okay, ready for another name who's done voice work that they probably wouldn't afford, but would be awesome if they can get him to voice the Emperor. Samuel L.
Yes,
Jackson.
yes, I was just
I
thinking
was
that.
thinking that. That
I was
would be
just
epic.
thinking that.
See, I was thinking Frank Welker. Okay.
You know what? I surrender.
You're just too freaking awesome. I want to join the Terran Empire now.
Exactly.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson would work. I would also go with like Frank Welker. But okay.
You go Frank Welker, then I almost think Peter Cullen.
I mean, who wouldn't join the Terran Empire if Megatron was leading it? Come on.
Really?
Or Optimus Prime was leading the Terran Empire.
Nemesis Prime.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he'd be Nemesis Prime at that point, yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Yes, Natalia, he does indeed sail denial in a canoe.
Ooh.
bad joke. We shall forgive you this time, however.
Another voice actor who they might be able to get because he does a lot of work in various points. Clancy Brown.
Ooh, I love Clancy Brown.
Ooh,
he would be.
And he has done Star Trek before too.
Yeah, and he has done voice work. He was Lex Luthor in the Superman animated series and Justice League animated series.
And he owned that character.
He's Clancy Brown. He owns everything that he does.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I would love him in it. But what character?
The Emperor.
Yes, the Emperor, but the Emperor.
Well, we're going by the assumption that they're going to make the Emperor a canon character.
Right, exactly.
Who says
you?
Yeah, it could be somebody new. It could be one of those children of Khan we always had reference to that they never put into the game.
They put it in temporarily way back in the day, but they took it right out.
Yeah.
Oh, there's still in the prison point a reference to it. In the one where we go get the founder for Wayun and the Dominion Return arc, there's still reference to it in there.
It was also supposed to be an old style STF back when they were ground in space, all in one mission, sort of a thing.
Yep, that's nice when they do that. We had Emperor Kirk voiced by Chris Pine.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah.
Emperor Tiberius.
Ooh.
It would be Emperor Tiberius.
That would be interesting to see.
I mean, we've had Zachary Quinto in the game. Not as Spock, but we've had him in the game.
And I could accept Chris Pine as a Kirk. Yeah, definitely.
Apparently, it's the only person who has done Kirk in any of the comedies or other projects that William Shatner actually likes. Gee, wonder why.
Well, probably because William Shatner's not returning anyone's call.
Right.
I mean, he's blocked Star Trek Online.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, again, we can blame that old community manager back in the day for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read the whole thing. There's a bit of a misunderstanding in that whole thing.
Yeah.
But how do you get William Shatner to do it? You tell him, well, George Takei's going to do a voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell you what, if you tell George no, I'll go do this.
Yeah, it's going to be Emperor Sulu. Wink.
Oh my.
Oh, that'd be awesome too.
Or Emperor Pavel Chekhov.
Oh.
That's what we overlooked.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he might...
Emperor Elon Musk? Oh my god, that's pretty good. That's actually pretty good.
And actually, ID Gaming Federation, it wasn't. It was actually Cryptic. One of the old community managers got into it with the Shatner on his Twitter.
They didn't really even get into it that bad.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
it kind of read across as kind of read when you read the whole thing. Wrong words, wrong time.
Yep.
Reading a lot of William Shatner's tweets on Twitter, though, after that fact, I wasn't all on the community manager.
Yeah.
Hi, oh
I'm
my
curious
god,
to say,
I love
but
steak.
William Shatner's got a little cuckoo in the brain.
Well, at his age, yeah, he gets to.
And yeah, Mara Hoffman, Laughing Trendy was good.
I'm hoping with the new community point we don't get it. And we obviously too early to tell, but I'm hoping we don't have so much premium stuff behind the big paywalls.
Yeah. Emperor
I agree with
Grudge.
you there.
But yes, I can see a Clancy Brown as the Emperor.
Yes, so can I. Yeah, that's almost frightening.
And like I said, he's been in Star Trek too, so there is a connection there too.
Yeah.
Granted, it was Enterprise.
Yeah. You know, apparently some people are campaigning to see T'Pol be in Strange New Worlds. Julian Blaylock.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Could be done. I mean, it's within the time.
It's within,
Yeah.
She was 50, should be about 150 in Strange New Worlds.
Okay, yeah.
And the life expectancy of the Vulcan is what?
Double a human, so yeah.
250,
So
I think, roughly.
Easily done.
Well, Spock had to been at least 200.
Spock was at least 100 by the time reunification rolled around.
Yeah.
And he was half Vulcan, so we don't know what his lifespan would be, but probably not as...
And he would have, well, he lived up to Romulan Star voting, obviously.
Yep.
Where are the Great Link in the 32nd century? Excellent question. That is an excellent question.
Probably blown up by the Sorry and the Kelpian Cry.
Yeah, no.
Trust me, I cannot believe they even went there.
Yeah.
Well, they did.
They did.
Now, considering we have a race now, I just wonder how long it'll be before we see playable Kelpians in game.
It's fine. Can we playable Kelpians?
Yeah.
I have no problem with it.
As long as they don't cry.
I think the script writers for this show are probably a little bit better at it than they are for that show.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Because they've taken on a pretty big plot here, and I'm kind of...
I mean, the whole Ilea thing is... I'm curious on the mental gymnastics for this one.
As I said, they have to figure out what they're going to do.
Mental gymnastics. I'm pretty sure it's going to be... I'm pretty sure they're going to be have to try to write a dissertation to pull this off.
Yeah. I mean, as a twist, okay. How this all comes together, I don't know.
I should probably go play the new episode.
You should go play the new episode. I'm sorry, we're doing spoilers. My bad, because I made everybody not tell me.
Sorry about that.
No, sorry.
And then, yeah, you made everybody not tell you. Then Mar Hoffman started telling everything.
Way to go, Mar Hoffman.
Go play the new episode. It's quite good.
Yep, go play. It is good.
I'm out of kidding.
But yeah, new content, spoilers, because we did a playthrough earlier in the show.
Yep.
Yeah, the chainsaw. I think Q's new dancers are still Fakiri.
Okay.
Of some sort. Especially with the glowing red eyes.
That would probably make them Fakiris.
Most likely.
They should have Omegas down here on New Rom. Emperor Augie.
We know. Well, we already know Augie.
Augie doesn't need.
Anyway.
Augie doesn't. It doesn't matter who the Emperor is. Augie will just come in and go, "I'm here. I have my DPS build on." The Emperor will just surrender. It's the Empire's yours. I leave.
Precisely. He will take it all over just with a shuttlecraft and a DPS build.
I mean, I made a joke at one point. I was doing a TFO same time Augie was. Different instance. I go, Augie, you were doing so much damage. Stuff in my instance died.
That's true.
Well, isn't it? Haven't there actually been times in the past where something new gets released and Augie manages to take down STO because of some wicked, crazy build he manages to throw together?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Pretty sure
I
I've
wouldn't
heard.
be surprised.
I'm sure I've heard Kale tell that story. A few times.
Kenobi's done that a couple times.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure Augie's done that.
I've done it one time with a pet build.
I know Ares has broke a mission a few times.
I've never done anything impressive, so, there you go. So last night when I wasn't on, I was switching over from my old internet service to my new internet service, which I'm sure you guys don't really see a difference, but I did a speed test on the old one and was getting 8 up and 6 down or something like that, or 6 up, 8 down. Yeah. So put in the new server, the new router, got everything hooked up, and was getting 8 up, 6 down. I'm like, son of a gun, what is going on here? And while you guys were off and having fun, I was doing a little research. And courtesy of a cable, 980 up, 868 down.
Bravo.
Yeah. Makes a world of difference.
I was going to go look into really doing a heavy upgrade on mine, and it's like, well, this won't cost you anything. And I went from like 10 up, 10 down, 3, like 2 up to like 25 down, 3 up, or something like that. I'm not having any real issues in my broadcast yesterday, except I kind of got bored all by myself.
Were you by yourself yesterday?
Yeah, after you left, nobody wanted to join in on stuff, and
you guys are mean to him.
I know.
I apologize. I had to work.
And the audience was starting to thin out, so it's like, yeah, I haven't eaten yet. I'm gonna go do a raid stuff. Plus, the doggy was kind of being a pain at that point. So.
Yeah. No, I still want to move all the furniture over there, because then I don't have to have this cable running across the floor. But that'll have to wait for another day. Mary Chieffo voicing the Emperor. Emperor Laurel.
Hang on. Laurel's Klingon.
Yeah, but.
Well, that doesn't mean she can't voice a human character.
Yeah.
After all, freaking Ricky Sherman did voice a Klingon for that whole Civil War.
Yep.
Oh, you know who has voiced an Emperor in the past who would do a good Emperor character?
Who's that?
Tenavik.
Ooh. Yeah.
His name escapes me at the moment.
Sam
Witwer.
I always want to call him Sam Witwicky, and I know that wasn't it.
I know him best as Starkiller, but
yeah.
I kind of know him as a voice of Maul.
Ryn.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. And he plays the game, and the devs like him.
And his wife is
Mary Wiseman. Oh my God.
I was just on his stream earlier today.
Were you?
Yeah.
He was dropping some weird hints.
Was he?
Well, basically, I don't know if it's because his wife told him, but he knew a little bit about the new TFOs and all that stuff that, you only know if you played it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he made a comment about how he wasn't going to play it until he got onto a dev stream with them.
Ah. Well, the devs do go on a stream and play sometimes, and he goes on theirs and plays sometimes, so that wouldn't be outrageous.
True, but what he knows about the missions and all that stuff probably could be from his wife.
Could be, but.
But playing something once he has a dev on stream to talk about it isn't unprecedented either.
No,
he did the same thing for the winter event.
Right. Yeah.
I do find it fun how we met him.
Yeah.
He came up to our booth.
Yeah, he came to us, and we're like, ah! Just kind of amazing.
Yep.
Oh, nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Oh yeah, he was lovely. All right, I got one more TFO in me, so anybody want to do one?
Let's go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Federation or KDF? Or mix?
We can do a mix.
Okay, let me grab a...
I'm going to go to a KDF because I hit 90 on my TFOs yesterday. Might as well keep grinding to get that 150.
Okay. Alrighty, so I got Picard 47, I got Drunken Heretic, I got who else? DT?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put those together.
Kirk is here.
Alrighty.
Apparently Kirk has met Admiral Janeway.
Oh yeah, I read in the I can't remember if it was in the patch notes or if it was in an article somewhere. They retroactively added her into some of the Delta.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they did.
That means I want to replay them at some point.
Same here.
Yep.
Well, half of those missions are patrols anyway, so hey.
Yeah. But we can actually play the missions and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Great point about
there it
replay.
goes, okay.
For the Empire.
One of you said me. Who said me?
Send me.
And if you need a spot for number 5 filled, I'll join as well.
Okay, I thought somebody else had said me first.
Right here, Jessa.
Jessa, thank you. Just trying to be fair here.
No problem.
Sounds great.
Okay, so everybody ready for random?
Let's do it.
Okay, let me get back over here. Let's see if we're all queued up there. We're all queued up there. Boop. Wee woo.
Wee woo.
Alrighty.
Wee woo.
Wee woo.
We need Wolfie doing a cute wee woo.
Oh, okay. DT, you know that Creation Entertainment runs the whole Vegas thing?
Yeah.
Well, there was a class action lawsuit against them about 3 years ago. The first year that we did it, or the first year I did it, and we did it when you were there that year.
Yeah.
They finally settled after years, and we got a check back from the settlement, and it's just enough to get a streaming deck. Okay, so the small streaming deck, but still. Hey, it's better than the 25 cents I thought we were going to get out of that one.
Yeah. Congratulations on that.
Yay, so we'll be able to afford a streaming deck for the show. Yay, and then we can get Wolfie to say wee woo, and we'll have the official wee woo sound clip.
I need to figure out how to program it. I need to program these G keys since they can go. There'd be a 6-key stream deck.
Wow, this is one you don't see too often.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ooh.
Ooh, my.
You guys all know this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I see Mom in her Mogai. I really hope. I would really love it. I would really love it if we had a legendary Mogai.
Yes. This one's not bad, Obi-Wan.
I'm going to say I don't think we'll see a Romulan ship in the big bundle this year.
Probably not.
Just based on the past bundles that we've had. I can see another to add to KDF, but I don't see I see the Romulan ships coming out later on.
Yeah.
You need a little bit more Romulan love.
I mean, there's only one canon Romulan ship left.
Which is the Moga. The Moga.
Which could be interesting because the only one they're missing is a command ship.
Yeah.
I guess they could bring in the Romulan ship from the Kelvin timeline. Call it a temporal one.
Yeah, except that was an original for the game anyway. So it would be canon.
Oops, that's not
No,
where I
I'm
go.
talking about the one from the 2009 movie.
Yeah.
The Narada.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Narada.
And they could call that a temporal one, considering it went back in time.
Yeah.
The Narada's a bit big, though. They'd have to scale it down quite a bit.
As I saw them before.
Emperor Daniels?
Oh. Sloane from Section 31 as Emperor.
That actually would be good.
Would he be the Emperor, though, or would he just be, like, the Emperor's, right-hand guy?
He'd be the hand behind the throne, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But is the actor who played him still alive? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Okay, I thought he might...
William Stather?
Betty White. She would have been an awesome emperor.
She would have been great.
And Betty's eternal.
Yeah.
And he's in his 70s, so...
He'd still do it.
Yeah, he's still acting.
Emperor Braxton. And the real problem is pretty much there's so many options that one could go into with this.
Emperor Palpatine!
That's the Emperor I was referring to that, what's his face is voiced. Every time I think of his face, I forget his name. I don't know
Ian McDiarmid?
No, Tanavik.
Oh, Sam.
Sam Witwer, yes. Sam Witwer.
Sam voiced Darth Maul in the Clone Wars. He didn't do it. Yeah.
He did Palpatine's voice in The Force Unleashed as well.
I know he did. I know he did Darth Maul's voice, and I think he even did the voice again for the frickin' Ray Park, for that ninja Ray Park in Solo.
I agree, Mark Hockman. I think that's the most likely situation.
Yeah, but the problem with Decker is problems.
Yeah. Now, if it is Decker, they can't. Let's be honest. Getting Stephen Collins to do the voice for him again would be bad.
Yes, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah. But then again, having Aaliyah back with Perseus Kambata being long deceased. It's kind of a weirdish thing too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did Stephen Collins actually go to jail?
I don't think he
No.
did. No.
Statute of limitations has run out, but he did actually admit that he.
Yeah, he's probably not likely to be.
Yeah, and these days I can't see that they would. I don't think they'd even go there.
That was Stephen Collins, anyways. No.
Yeah, that would be bad publicity.
Well, yeah, they could recast.
Yeah, I know, but you know how they are in California. Even the illusion of impropriety.
It's. And let's be honest, somebody somewhere will latch onto that whole point of they're bringing Stephen Collins' character back.
Yeah, because then it becomes a question of who do you get to voice him without Stephen Collins, and would said actor even want to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Looks like they've revamped this mission, by the way, just a little bit.
They could have some fun with it and put or ask Barry Watson to do the voice for it, but keep that seventh heaven connection. But would Barry want to do it?
Like I said, whoever does this thing, it's almost. I mean, it's a video game, but.
Yeah, they can have someone else voice Decker. I know you're right, but it's the actor's still kind of connected to the character.
Yeah.
Right.
And honestly, in Star Trek, we do tend to lump the character in the role, in the actor together.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. If they had anybody but Chris Duhon voicing Scotty in this game, there probably would have been blowback.
Absolutely.
Well, they didn't really reveal it was Chris Duhon until afterwards.
No, they talked about it right up front.
Really?
Yeah.
They did. And at that point, Chris was actually in a couple of fan films voicing Scotty, so.
Star Trek continues. That's where we got Chris Doohan from. That's where they got Kumarke from. That's where they got Michelle Specht.
Yep.
Ooh, Empress Morris.
And as bad as Vic has done things for a very long time.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
Legally, we must say allegedly.
Yeah.
Are they changing the Doctor and Doctor Who again?
I'm sure they are.
Yep.
Didn't they just cast what's her name?
Yeah, but she was horrible at it, and 2, she was horrible at it.
3, it was terrible material.
Everyone
It was
said that
terrible
Peter
material.
Capaldi too, but it's like, was it really the actor or was it the writing?
It was terrible scripts. She's actually, I'm told, to be good actress. It's just,
The scripts were just
awful.
They really were.
It
And
says it was
allegedly-
the writing. It was the writing.
And allegedly,
I know it's just
they're talking about
but I mean, they just
they're
talked
talking about bringing back David Tennant for a series of specials.
That'd be good. Well, she did 3 years of it, or 3 seasons of it, which is
Okay.
more
Well,
than
that's probably-
Eccleston, more than did David Tennant do 3 years or more?
5.
He did 5.
Tennant did 5.
Eccleston only did the one, right?
Yeah,
Right.
he only did the awesome one. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but that was a really good run.
Tennant took over really well and did really well.
He did. He did. I think
He had
Eccleston.
some memorable episodes too.
Yeah. Eccleston, I think, brought back some really strong characterization and was the reason it got revived to the extent that it was.
And Russell Davies is taking back over as producer for the whole thing again, so that kind of...
Yeah, because whatever his name was, the newest showrunner,
Yeah.
Yeah.
didn't
Shabbat.
do a fabulous job. Chris...
Chipnell.
Chitnell, yeah, him.
No,
Yeah, it's one of those points where let's deconstruct everything before we blow everything up. Let's get that flagship.
Yeah, no. Jodie Whittaker has 3 or 4 more episodes this year.
Specials.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she was at a season.
And then Russell T. Davis's New Era is already in production.
Good.
So casting should be coming up anytime soon.
Allegedly, they're saying that it's going to be David Tennant as the 15th Doctor,
Wow.
which...
Well, I guess they never made a rule that they couldn't go back to a form, right?
They kind of broke it a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
They
Yeah,
have a fair
I
number of
think-
rules. They constantly break.
yeah.
If exactly.
Well, if you remember Day of the Doctor when
They brought back Tom Baker, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he was like, "You know, sometimes you might come back to a
Yeah.
familiar."
He did say that.
From your favorite
Yeah,
ones.
the curator.
Right.
They've expanded on that lore in Big Finish. So, and actually, Eccleston is doing Big Finish now too.
Really?
Yeah, he's got I want to say 24 stories contracted so far.
That's amazing.
Actually, what I would like to see instead of David Tennant returning as a 15th Doctor,
Mm-hmm.
how about he returns as a Metacrisis clone?
Oh.
There's talks that we'll get a proper 15th Doctor that isn't anyone we know, but that Davies will do a spin-off series that expands on the Timeless Child and the Ruth Doctor by visiting past Doctors, including Tennant, Paul McGann, etc.
Actually, somebody had a really good idea, which for who should play the Doctor.
Hey guys,
Hugh
I'm going
Laurie.
to go for a little bit.
Hugh Laurie as a
Doc wants to
Doctor.
go outside again.
No worries. Actually, I'm going to log off, so I'm going to say good night to everybody. Let's go see if anyone's around to raid.
Let's take a look
All
here.
right. See you later,
we
Mom.
Take care.
have,
Have a great night. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you were here.
apparently, P6P is
Likewise.
doing STO. Lorena's doing STO.
Oh, let's hit Lorena. We haven't done Lorena in a long time.
Yeah, Lariana, Disco Lando, and Darkside Girls are the only ones doing STO tonight.
Let's hit Lorena. He's come and raided us. Oh, excuse me. Picard47 has suggested either Darkside Girl or Greg's Lounge. So yeah, why don't we do them instead?
All right. I don't see Greg's Lounge.
Darkside Girl Darkside Girl just recently started doing streaming herself, if memory serves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we hit her and everybody give her some love? Share the Star Trek Online love.
Raid setup.
All right, let's rate them. On behalf of the Darkmom Consortium, I want to thank everybody who joined us tonight. Thanks for playing the new mission. Don't forget to get going on your dailies so you can get the new ship. We will not be on tomorrow night, but Ed and I will be on in the morning, and we will be back with you Thursday. So take care.
I may join in voice on Thursday. We don't know.
Rate 'em.
All right, rating. Boom.